Does the thought of putting this on make you cringe? Does it give you stress thinking about walking down the street with your dog pulling and lunging and barking at every dog you meet? Stick with me, you guys. We are going to go over a whole bunch of things today to help reduce the stress and fear of you walking your dog down the street without barking, without lunging, without pulling you on the leash. So stick with me so that when you see this leash, you have a smile on your face just like I do right now. Okay? Great. I'm Lindsay. I'm here with Paw Prints University. I'm a trainer and I'm here to help you with everything you need to reduce your stress and anxiety and fear of walking your dog, of having friends come over, reducing their jumping and nipping and biting. Today we're talking about leash walking, about walking without fear, without being pulled down the street, with your dog walking with grace and style. All right, so let's get started. So listen, you guys, I need to tell you something. I have a highly reactive dog. Her name is Jilly. You guys see her a lot in our videos and in the photos that I post, and she's a very sweet 12-pound terrier, and she wants to let everyone know that she's coming down the street. So we have worked very hard to reduce her pulling, her barking, her fear, her stress when we walk down the street. And I hope that I can share the tips that I've learned with her with you. I want to help you guys. So I recently talked to you guys about barking and jumping when you're on the leash, and I gave you some tips. We're going to review those real quick before I show you some of the she's in her place. Before I show you some tricks and some tips for you guys to use when you're on your walks. So the first thing I want to remind you all is that we need to get some high value treats. And today, you guys, is National Popcorn Day here in the States. And so I made some fresh popcorn this morning to get us ready for this wonderful day. You guys, I'm from Nebraska, and I say it like that sometimes. And I love popcorn. I grew up eating it, and if you all know my favorite place to get popcorn, put it in the chat. I want to know if you can figure out what my favorite popcorn is of all time. So now that I live out on the East Coast, I add Old Bay to my popcorn, but that's a new thing after living here for a couple decades. So anyway, today is National Popcorn Day. We're going to use some of it for its treats. You can give this to your dogs, and it's it's high fiber, it's a good treat to have for dogs. You just want to make sure that they don't get the hard kernels, just like us, and just have fun with it. Make sure it doesn't have any seasoning on it, and if you can do an air pop, that's even better. So high value treats. If you don't have popcorn, grab some hot dogs, some sausage, or meatballs. Those are my three favorites go-tos because they are pre-cooked, easy to cut up into small pea-sized pieces, and you can put them in baggies in your treat pouch. So the next thing I want to remind you all is about proper gear. Proper gear for me, after I've walked dogs for, you guys, 2 decades. I've been walking dogs professionally for families all over, and I've seen everything. So I have learned what I like best. And what I like best is a harness that fits securely on your dog. I like the one that has a front and a back clip on it. This one is called a 2-ounce design no pull freedom harness, and I love it. It comes in multiple colors and styles and fashions, and it's really comfortable for them to wear. So I like that one a lot. And I also use these really awesome climbing rope leads by a company called Mountain Dog Products. They're out in oh, I don't want to get it wrong. So they're out in the Southwest, and they make them. They are U.S. made, just like the Freedom harnesses, and they are fantastic leashes. They're made from reclaimed climbing rope, and they are lovely. They feel nice in our hands, and they also, the ones I get, have a hook so they can wrap around our waist. So I'll show you what mine looks like. So this is wrapped around my waist. I can take this and put it onto the leash real fast. So I love wearing that one. I also have my treat pouch, and we have treat pouches that you can get. Paw Prints University treat pouches just for you. And I like having the treat pouches so that I can have everything accessible, and I can put different kinds of treats in there. So I can have more than one bag in here of different kinds of treats, and I can give them to my dog as we are training inside and outside. So that's what I wanted to say as far as, that's the next one, is about training inside first. We want to start with no distractions. I talk about the 3Ds, distraction, distance, duration. Today we are just going to talk about distractions. So distractions mean we want to start with none. Start inside, start indoors. Put the leash on your dog inside your house. Walk around just like you would outside. And what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you soon, is how to have your dog pay attention to you at all times. And we're going to start by paying attention to our dog at all times. Now we also are going to keep on the lookout. We want to scope the land when we're on a walk for squirrels, dogs, cars, trucks, whatever your dog reacts to, skateboards or bikes, kids playing. We want to make sure that they have focus on us and we have focus on them. So put the phones away. Make sure that if you have a dog that's reactive, that you walk them alone to start training. So if you have multiple dogs and if you have more than one dog and they're reactive, do one at a time for the training purposes. And start again, like I said, indoors. So that's that. And I will say this again. My 3 things that I always say are about being patient, about practicing, and about consistency. So we want to teach our dogs how we want them to behave. We want to give them the tools so that they can choose to do the right thing, meaning what we want them to do. So if we don't want them to jump, we're going to ignore the jumping. And we are going to reward them when they have all 4 paws on the floor. So that's for jumping. Today we are talking about pulling, barking, lunging. Oh my gosh, what a nightmare it is to walk our dogs when they act out like that. It is embarrassing. It is painful. It hurts our arms. Sometimes we even get pulled over onto the ground, and other dogs get scared too. People get scared. You guys, I have a 12-pound dog, and people, when they hear her bark, they go the other way, even though all my dog wants to do is greet. So what I want to teach you guys is how our dogs can greet calmly and safely for you and for your dog and for everybody else on the street. All right, so what I'm going to show you are a couple things. We're going to talk real quickly about 2 of my favorite cues to teach. One is called watch me and one is called touch. And these are 2 of my favorite things, you guys, and I have a class coming up in a couple weeks. I'm going to keep talking about it. I hope you all can join me for it. It's going to be this awesome free class that I'm offering, and I'm going to go into great detail about watch and touch because those are 2 of my favorite go-to cues to keep our dogs focused on us when we're walking down the street. So that's the first thing I want to teach you. I also want to help you come up with a novel sound to get your dog's attention on walks. So a sound, when I make a funny sound, that means they're going to get a treat. So come up with a sound, whatever it is, make sure that it's always followed by a treat. Sometimes we have an indicator word that's just yes, and then we give a treat. Sometimes we make a funny sound like doo-doo-doo, and then they get a treat. So whatever the sound is that you want to make sure that it's always followed by a high value treat. So the other thing you can do when you're on your walks, and you can practice this indoors first, is if your dog is not always highly food motivated, you can carry a squeaky toy or a stick or a ball, something that your dog loves. So like my dog loves squeaky toys. She loves that sound of them. She loves chewing on them. She loves pulling that squeaker out and getting all the stuffing out too. And we make sure she has plenty around. As you can see, we have a full basket of toys here, and I have some of her favorites right up here on top that I'm going to show you what happens when we use one on our walks. So that's the other thing I wanted to mention. I also wanted to talk to you about playing a game that you can do on a walk, and we're going to demonstrate that for you shortly. So now we're going to gear her up. You're going to be able to see Jilly walking. We are going to start indoors in this small contained space with no distraction. The only distraction she really has is a whole basket of toys that she's kind of like, she'll come over and grab her favorite, but right now her favorites are on top, so she can't reach those yet. And I'm gonna have her focus on me. So I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna show you what it looks like to walk a dog without pulling you down the street. All right, you ready, Jill? Okay, come on, come on. All right, so the first thing I'm doing is I have the leash. I'm gonna put it on her front clip, right here. So it's on the front. All right, and so let's say we're walking down the street. Oh, look. And I want her, and she sees a squirrel over there. Do you see that over there? Oh, yes! I'm going to let her see that squeaky toy. I'm going to let her play with that. All right. Maybe your dog is more ball-oriented, so they like to see the ball when they're walking down. Some dogs even like to carry a stick in their mouth or a toy in their mouth while they walk. That helps give them something to do, gives them some calm, and gives them a little security. Oh, she hears the sound of the crinkling bag, right? All right, so she hears the sound. She's looking right at me. So I'm gonna, yes! Did you see that? She looked at me, I said yes, and I gave her a treat. Yes! So we are walking down the street. She's gonna see another dog, but she's gonna, yes, look right at me. Okay, now what happens if a squirrel is coming? Before the squirrel comes, we are gonna have our own squirrel party right here. I like to call this a squirrel party. And the reason why is because they love squirrels, they love chasing them, but we're gonna have our own squirrel party to celebrate while that squirrel climbs up the utility pole and taunts us. So she's not gonna see the squirrel. She may see it once. She may think, oh, what's happening? And I'm gonna say, squirrel party, seek. And I'm gonna toss a few pieces of kibble into the grass, into the leaves, and I'm gonna have her search for them while the squirrel just goes up onto the tree and goes for a little jaunt around town, right? And so in that way, she saw the squirrel, but she's gonna first look at me, and we're gonna do watch, and then while the squirrel is sort of around so that she is distracted a little bit, I'm gonna give her some treats called a squirrel party. And yeah, she really liked that. So that's a really fun thing to do. So that's the little game I wanted to teach you called Squirrel Party. Again, the cues that we're going to learn are called watch and touch. Those are two ways to distract your dog, to give them the security that you are more exciting than the squirrels. We're going to have our own squirrel party right here without having to worry about anything else going on. And we are going to have a safe walk down the street. Now I need to remind you all, these things need to start indoors. You have to start in a low distraction spot. And, oh yes, you're being so good, aren't you? Not only do you want to start with low distractions, when you do venture out, try to do it when there's less dogs around at first. You want to try to find times of the day where there'll be less distractions outside, so you can practice in your yard or in the front courtyard of your apartment building or something, an area that is still outside but has less distractions, and you can practice. The more you can create more positive experiences, the more we reinforce this idea that they're going to check in with us and get treated that way. So they're going to get their rewards from paying attention to us. So when they see a squirrel, what we want is for them to immediately check in with us, say yes, and reward them with a high value treat. So I hope you got a lot out of this today. If you need more, we are here for you. We have a great group called Paw Prints University Classmates. Please come check us out. And we have this awesome new guide out that people are just raving about called Strut Don't Stress. And you can download it and grab it and read all about more tips and more tools on how to walk safely with confidence and successfully down the street with your dogs. So you can find that guide. We'll have the link in the comment section of this video wherever you're watching it today. And if you need more help, please reach out to us. We are always available for you. Again, I'm Lindsay Page of Paw Prints University. I'm a certified professional dog trainer, and I'm happy to help you guys go from chaos to calm every day of the year. Have a great day. I hope you guys get some popcorn for National Popcorn Day. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.